Hello, first grade friends. Welcome back. I'm Miss Udiostegi, and I will be your teacher for math today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can see what we're going to learn today. So here's the PowerPoint I put together for us. So this is first grade, Module 3, Lesson 5. And like I said, it's being taught to you by Miss Udiostegi, but you can go ahead and call me Miss U, whichever one's better. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So our math schedule. First thing is some math fluency. So we're going to do some sprint subtraction within 20. And then the second thing is our objective. We're going to go over what does it mean, why is it important, and then we're going to go into our lesson, which will have some vocabulary and some teacher examples, and then we're going to go straight into our practice problems, right? Okay, so for the sprint, I'm going to go ahead and show you the problems, and then if you're going to need a timer, a 1-minute timer, you can find that on Google, and if you don't have a timer, it's okay, just try to solve them as fast as you can. So I'm going to show you them first, and then once we have all the problems on there, you can go ahead, hit the pause button, try to do them as fast as you can, and then hit and pause. Okay, so the first problem is going to be 16 minus 1 equals. Second one is 19 minus 2 equals. 17 minus 5 equals. 16 minus 4 equals. 14 minus 1 equals. 15 minus 2 equals. 12 minus 3 equals. And 11 minus 5 equals, and then we have 2 more. So 18 minus 4 equals, and 13 minus 8 equals. So if you have your timer, go ahead, copy these problems down, and then start your timer and try to solve as many as you can. And if you don't have a timer, just copy the problems down and just solve them as fast as you can, and then hit unpause so that you can compare your answers to the ones we have, okay? Alrighty, now that you've had enough time to do the problems on your own, let's go ahead and look at the answers. So this one's 16 minus 1 equals 15. 19 minus 2 equals 17. 17 minus 5 equals 12. And 16 minus 4 equals 12 as well. And 14 minus 1 equals 13. And 15 minus 2 equals 13. 12 minus 3 equals 9. 11 minus 5 equals 6. 18 minus 4 equals 14, and then 13 minus 8 equals 5. So, good job. And if you didn't get them, if you got a lot of them wrong, it's okay. Remember, practice, practice. Okay, so now let's go to our objective. It says rename and measure with centimeter cubes using their standard unit name of centimeters. So, what does that mean? It means that we're going to learn how to measure objects using centimeter cubes. And then instead of saying centimeter cubes, we're going to just say centimeters. So, for example, I have this box, and if I measure it in centimeters, I'm going to say this box is, let's pretend it's 5. This box is 5 centimeters. I'm not going to say it's 5 centimeters cube. I'm going to say it's 5 centimeters, right? But why is that important? So it's important because it helps us understand how the objects are different. So if I had 2 boxes and they were side by side, but the other box was a little bit bigger, I can just tell someone, oh, that one's 5 centimeters, the other one's 7. I can say, hey, can you pass me the 7 centimeter box? And they'll go ahead and pass me the right box. All right. So our vocabulary for today. So our vocabulary is endpoints and centimeter. what are endpoints? So endpoints are where you start measuring. So if you're gonna measure from the side to side, this right here is where you would start measuring, and this is right here where you would end measuring. For example, the box. If I wanted to measure, I could measure from top to bottom. So these would be my endpoints, top to the bottom. Or I can measure from side to side, but I would make sure that the endpoints are clear. Centimeters. So in a centimeter, here we have a ruler. And in a ruler, we always have the side where it says inch. And those would be our inches. And on the other side, on the opposite side, it usually has the letter cm or mm. But you're mainly looking for the cm. The cm is for the centimeters. And so you're not going to use the inch. We're going to use the centimeter side. And here I have a ruler that I can show you. I have a foldable ruler. And on this side, it says inches. So then if this side says inches, this is my centimeter side. So I would measure using the centimeter side. And you see right here, the centimeters, they're a lot smaller than the inches. You see that? Because from 5 to 6, right here we have 5, there's like at least 2.5 centimeters. Okay, so when you're measuring, so you grab it, you grab your object, you put it right next to the ruler, and then you look at the line of the endpoint. So this is the endpoint, and then this is the imaginary line you would see from the endpoint going to the 0. So you start at the 0, and then you go from the next endpoint, which would be this right here. So then this key would be 5.5 centimeters long. So about 5.5 centimeters long. Okay. And remember, this ruler might not be the exact measurement of a centimeter, but that's because I grabbed the image from Google and I had to extend it. So if you have a ruler and you compare it to the one on the screen isn't the correct one. It's just the one we have for visual, but the one on your ruler would definitely be the correct one, okay? So just for the purpose of today's lessons, we're gonna use this ruler. Ready? Okay. So this is my teacher example. It says, circle the objects that are measured correctly. So you don't have to go ahead and write anything down. You're just gonna go ahead and see how I solve it and my thinking process along the way, okay? So here I have this love potion, this crystal ball, and a spell book. And it says to circle the objects that are measured correctly. So it could be more than one that's correct. Or it could be just one. So right here, we see our ruler. And right at the 0, this line is right on 0. You're measuring it, and then right there. So this is showing us that it's 1 centimeter cube, right? So each one is 1 centimeter. So right here, from here is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is saying that the love potion is 4 centimeters cube, 4 centimeters. Is it correct? No, because we can see that the love potion actually ends right here. So that one is not correct. That one, no. Let's look at our second object, which is the crystal ball. So it starts right here, just like that. So it's right at the line right here. So it's touching our endpoint. So you start right here and you go 1, 2, 3. But look right here, it's a lot longer than the crystal ball. So is this one measured correctly? No. This one the crystal ball is not 3 centimeters long. It looks a lot shorter, maybe right here, right? Okay, now let's look at this one. So this is the book. This is our endpoint, our starting. and our ending point. So if we go here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, the lines connect. So it looks like it's measuring it correctly, right? So the spell book is measured correctly. Okay, so now it says, fill in the blanks. How long are the objects? So now we're gonna measure them. Ready? So if this is 1 centimeter, we're gonna use these little cubes. We're gonna use these little cubes to measure. Okay, it's right there. So that's 1. It's right at the end point. It's 1, 2, 3. So the love potion is 3 centimeters long. Right, now let's use the centimeter again. Just 1, 2. It's right at the end points, right here and right here. So the crystal ball is 1, 2, 2 centimeters long. And then right here we have the spell book. So it says the spell book is centimeters long. So let's go ahead and measure it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 centimeters long. Okay, so now it says circle the objects that are measured correctly. So you don't have to go ahead and copy them, but look at the objects and think which ones look like they're being measured correctly. And then you can go ahead and point at the 1 or the 2 or 3 objects that you think are measured correctly. So remember, the starting point is the highest and the ending point of where you're going to stop measuring is the lowest. So look at the very highest and the very lowest. Okay, and this is right here. We can see that these little rectangles are each 1 centimeter long. Okay, so go ahead, look at them, pause it so you can have more time, and then hit unpause when you're ready to continue. Okay, now that you've had enough time, let's go ahead and check your work. So it would be right here. So this is the starting one, but look right here, it's actually is measuring a lot longer than the staff really is. What about this one? Yeah, that one is measured correctly because it has it right here, starting and ending. Now, what about this one? This one, yeah, it's actually kind of tricky, but if we look closely, it's actually where the highest point of this crystal is, and it ends right where the crystals end too. So that one is measured correctly as well. Okay, now it says, fill in the blanks. How long are the objects? So if you want, you can always go ahead and get a piece of paper. And with the paper, you can put your paper next to the screen, and you can copy the little centimeter. You can make your own little ruler by putting it right on top of the screen and copying the little square. And then you can go ahead and measure the staffs. Just like that, okay? So you can go ahead, do that, pause the video, and unpause when you're ready. Okay, now if you don't have a piece of paper to copy that, it's okay because we're gonna go ahead and show you. So let's do it together, ready? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this magician or wizard staff, the staff is 7 centimeters long. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 centimeters long. Now let's look at the hourglass. So the hourglass is centimeters long. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. The hourglass is 4 centimeters long. Now it says the magic crystal is centimeters long. Let's go ahead and measure this one as well. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the magic crystal is 6 centimeters long. Nice. Okay, so now this one is like a little story. This is practice problem. In a faraway castle, there were 3 dragons. So 1, 2, and 3. The king wanted to see which dragon was the longest. So he measured them using centimeters cubes. Ordered them from shortest to longest. So on the side, we have the ruler. And if you want, you can go ahead and use a piece of paper, trace the ruler, trace the little lines, the 1, the 0, the 1, the 2, and the 3 centimeters, all the way to maybe 10 centimeters. And then you can go ahead and measure the dragons with your ruler that you just created. So create your ruler and then measure all 3 of your dragons. We can call this dragon 1, this dragon 2, or this dragon 3, or it could be A, B, and C. And then go ahead and put them in order from shortest to longest. Okay? Righty. So pause the video so you can do that. Righty, now that you've had enough time to go ahead and measure them, create your ruler, and then put them in order from shortest to longest, let's go ahead and see the answer. So the shortest dragon was the one that was flying. And that one is in the middle, and this dragon was the longest. So let's go ahead. See, we go. Oh. So we would measure from here to here, and then from here, here, right there, just like that. So this is shortest dragon and the longest dragon. Okay, now let's go ahead and do this one. It says, in a faraway magical land, a fairy had 3 magical wands. She wanted to put them in order from shortest to longest. The fairy measured her wands using centimeters cubed. So with the ruler you just created, you can go ahead and measure these wands. And then which one would be the shortest, which one would be the longest, and which one would be the middle. So we're just gonna do what we did with the dragons and put them from shortest to longest, alrighty? All right, now that you've had enough time to do it on your own and try to put them from shortest to longest, let's go ahead and see the answer. So the shortest one was that one, the one with the red star. The one in the middle was the one with the little crown, and the one with the circle and the star was the longest. Good job. Okay, so now it says find 3 different objects. So you can go ahead and find 3 different objects. They could be simple things or things that are right next to you, such as tape, a pencil, your paper. It could be a book or a notebook that you have around. It can be a box or whatever you have around you, or the mouse or your laptop. So find 3 different objects and then measure them. Measure them with the ruler we have right here on the screen, or if you have your actual own ruler, you can go ahead and measure it, okay? And if you don't have 3 objects, that's okay. Oh, sorry. If you don't have 3 objects, that's actually fine, because you can go ahead you can go ahead and get a piece of paper and draw a triangle with 3 different sides. And this side could be A, this side could be C, and this side could be B. So you can draw your triangle, have your 3 different sides, and then if you have a ruler, go ahead and measure them. How long is centimeter, how long is A in centimeters, how many centimeters is C, and how many centimeters is B. And you can put them in order from shortest to longest. So go ahead, do that. And then once you've done either the measuring your objects or measuring the lines, you can go ahead and hit unpause. Reading. Now the discuss/think. So remember that when you're going in a discussion or the thinking, you can go ahead and discuss with your parent, your brother, your sister, your best friend, or whoever's around you, or you can go ahead and just think to yourself, okay? So right here it says, number 1, it says, what was the most challenging thing in today's lesson? Explain. So what was the most difficult thing and why was it the most difficult thing? And if you thought today's lesson was actually easy, then what was the most easiest thing and why was it easy for you? And then our second lesson is, why is it important to know how to measure objects using centimeters? Explain. So why do you think it's important to know how to measure using centimeters? And explain it. So you can explain it in a story, or you can explain it using one of the examples from today's lesson. So it says, thanks, first grade friend. Remember to practice what you learn, and practicing helps us improve our skills. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.